Heart of a Woman.
We're back at Heart of a Woman with Christine Holder. Christine, before we went to break, we shared so many things, but I want us to touch on a woman that prays. Touch on that, the importance, especially a woman that is married and your husband is in ministry. It could be pastor, whatever. How important it is for a woman to be so supportive in her, to her husband in prayer.
It is very important. I think if it's one thing that we can do, which is one weapon that we have, it's pray. And as pastors' wives or women of God, I think our secret place and our secret weapon is pray.
Is pray.
You know, when we can cover our husbands under the blood of Jesus and to cover him in prayer, to cover our families in prayer, I think there is where we stand more strong.
Yes.
To cover them in
to
prayer,
cover
to
them.
lift them up.
Right.
It extends even not just to cover the man of God, but the members of the church, the congregation.
Yes.
To make sure that, in your secret closet that you can lift up these members. And the issues and the concerns are so numerous.
Of course.
That the man of God, him alone can't bear it. It's greater when he has that support.
Yes.
When he has a wife at his side that they can talk and relate. And not just talk and relate and leave it there, but you can talk and relate and pray. Take it to God and pray. Because it's sometimes as men of God and women of God, we don't have all the answers. And we don't profess to have all the answers either. But we know the one that have all the answers.
Amen.
And sometimes we may be able to answer to one question, but ultimately it is God's will we're praying for. So it's important that we take whatever the matter is to God, so that not just our own opinions, but we have God's final will in the matter also.
Amen.
So it's very, very important. Even in our Christian walk, yes, it is important.
It is important.
Yes.
Specifically though, as a pastor's wife, in your opinion, what's the role of a pastor's wife to first her husband, the congregation, the community? What's her role?
Well, actually, just last night we were talking about that because from the experience of other pastors, pastors, they tend to put God and then the church first and then their families after. And we see families suffering.
Yes.
Children of pastors are suffering because daddy's not in the home. And we grew up like that is how it's supposed to be. But you see, times are changing, and these same pastors who have realized that they too have suffered, or they too would have learned from their experiences. Now they are telling us, don't make those same mistakes. You put God first.
Yes.
You put your family first. And then the church comes after.
Yeah, because I believe the family is the first ministry.
Yes. And families are what makes up the church.
Definitely.
Right? So we want to make sure that our families are intact. So that even as because they look to us for examples also. So we want to make sure that our family, when it's time for Bishop to be at home, he's home with the family. And it really puts a strain, I have to say, honestly, a strain on family life. Because church, that's what you are called to. That's your ministry. That's your passion. There's needs, and it's numerous. People have issues.
Oh, yes.
And they need us. They need us. But more so, especially when you have children, there's a line that have to be drawn.
Of course.
Is if you are single in ministry, you can go
and go
whatever whim fancy you can go at whatever time. If you're married, then you have to consider your spouse. But when you have children, I think sometimes we don't take thought about the children. You think because they are young they would understand, or maybe they aren't taking note of what is taking place. But yes, they too are affected. When father is not in the home, or when parents are not in the home, they are affected.
Of course.
Right now, our children, we had to take some time out because we realized that their lives are our lives. They live our lives. They come home from school. After school is church. So they come home. Sometimes homework is done at church. They live a hectic life. They live our lives. So when we take time out, we have to make memorable times to spend with them.
Yes.
Do things out of the ordinary. Sometimes we try to leave the home, do something out,
Yes.
you know, so that it's fun. Because when you get home, it might be work.
Yes.
But we want to make sure that that time is a time of fun for them.
For them,
you know, so that they can do things they want to also, and not just do what mommy and daddy say.
And do stuff outside of the four walls of the church.
It's necessary.
Sorry to say this, but you know, and you have situations where pastors' wives don't understand that we are all called to serve, and you're not Miss High and Mighty. Was that happens? You see, they don't function in the church. They look pretty and they sit up front, but you don't see them. They're not accessible. What's your take on that?
I think it's a it's a misconception. Sometimes we have our own ideals as to what the pastor's wife should be. But I think I'm privileged to have a voice in our ministry. I mean, my husband, I'm now the co-pastor. So sometimes I may preach the word, I may exhort, I may edify, you know, so I have the ability to speak. From knowing other ministries, you know, we may say that the man is called, so he's the pastor, but then the wife is just the wife.
Right.
You know, and for me, I think it's both of them. And the same honor you give to him, you give to his wife.
Amen.
So both of them, it's not him as the pastor and she's just the wife, but they are two. The two becomes one, you know, and sometimes they may seem quiet, but those are the ones that
in the background.
That's right. I think those are the ones that are so powerful. Those that seemingly look very quiet.
Yes.
Those are the ones that go into their closet and they pray and they lift up people and they move mountains in that closet.
Yes.
And when they come out, they may seem all put together. But many times persons don't know what we go through as pastors' wives.
Right.
The times when we go to bed with tears in our eyes and you're crying on the pillow there because of sometimes hurtful words
said by
so many things hurt us. You know, we too are humans, and we do feel and we do hear what is being said on the ground. But you see, many persons don't know what our role really entails.
Yes.
To know the sacrifices that we make. Many don't understand.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a pastor's wife, but I know that there are lots of challenges, and people misunderstand, and they assume, well, you're the pastor's wife, and you know, I can call the pastor anytime I want, and he's supposed to answer. He's supposed to visit 20 sick people in the hospital, you know, and you're not supposed to worry about that. Yes. But as you say, he has a family, he has a life, and you know, as the congregation, you're supposed to understand that. On the flip side, you know, I think, and you know, you've heard that, the congregation love a pastor's wife that somehow seem to be a part of them, and you have some that are not. I don't know if it's a fear. Do you think some pastors' wives are afraid to open up to people because they're probably hurt?
I can't say exactly what might be, you know, the reason for others, but even as myself, I remembered, you know, being more of a reserved person.
Right.
And I may not be Miss Congeniality and mixing and laughing with everybody. But, you know, when you get to know me, then I am personable. You know, I like a good conversation. I like a conversation that goes somewhere.
Somewhere,
you know, and at the end of it, you must leave refreshed. You must leave sowing a seed in your life. You know, but the mind always have to be transformed. You know, you always have to transform your mind, because the person I was before is not the person I am now.
Well, you know, I know you would have grown with your ministry, and that is what should happen,
But not just growing with the ministry, your personality, has to change.
Definitely.
Because now you're dealing with people, and you're dealing with people of different personalities. Somebody might be coming down. You might have a bad day, but you know, you can't go looking all grim.
Exactly.
But you have to be able to not switch and not pretend,
Yeah.
but you must be able to adapt.
Adapt, I like that.
Yes,
Adapt.
yes.
And understand again your calling.
Yes.
What
yes,
God has called you to.
yes,
And
yes.
if He called you, definitely He will equip you to do
That's
what you
right.
need to do.
That's right.
Even if you're so
That's
tired.
right.
And I could imagine how tiring that must be. It must be very exhausting to wear all these hats, you know?
It's exciting. It keeps me on my toes. But
And you look good for it, you know, you look good for it. But I saw you, I wanted to ask you this the other night when we were at that dress, did you make it?
no, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't. Actually, I saw it on a mannequin, and I decided to try it.
Right.
And it did fit,
Beautifully, yes. Yes, beautifully. But
Yes.
I love the work that you're doing. I love the drapes. So you actually sew the drapes, or, well, I don't know anything about that. I was telling you that will
Yes.
frustrate me. I can't do all that fancy valance thing.
Yes,
Just I
love
love the way it looks. But having it around me or to do it, it will
Yes,
just confuse
yes.
the life out
It's
of
a
me.
gift.
It
It's a
is,
gift.
definitely.
It is a gift. I must confess myself that it's a gift. Because you may go to classes and you learn the basics.
Right.
But it's what you do with that.
Yes.
How do you make it unique? It's custom made. And I boast to my clients, I said, the pieces that you will get is not the pieces that you're going to see in your neighbor's home.
Right.
And even if the style might be the same, there's something unique about the piece.
Yeah, because I
There
see
must
you
be
do
something
the
different.
pleating and
Yes,
even
yes,
to
yes.
I see you guys pin, and oh my goodness, I admire
love
it.
I love
see
it.
that. I
I
see
love
that.
it.
And coming back to what I saw in the church, you help the woman.
Yes.
Yes. So you see, my darling, when we answer the call,
Yes.
everything comes full
That's
circle.
right. That's right.
Everything comes full
Yes,
circle.
it does.
So, Christine, we've come basically to the end of this program, and it was really a pleasure
It
having you,
was.
and I enjoyed talking with you.
Yes.
I hope we can do it
We must,
again.
we must, we
Yes.
must, yes.
So, God bless you.
Thank
God bless
you.
your ministry. God bless your hands.
Yes.
He said it, whatever you put your hands to do, it
It's gonna
will
be blessed.
prosper.
That's right.
And you're seeing it. You're
Yes,
seeing it.
yes,
I
yes.
hope to visit your church.
Yes.
Yes, and we'll have a
Most
chat
welcome.
about that.
Yes,
It
yes.
look like we're gonna have some good fun. So,
For
my
sure.
darling,
Oh,
God bless
much
you,
blessings upon
and
you too.
yes, darling, and you take care
Thank you.
and do what God has called you to do.
Indeed. Thank you
So,
much.
ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, we had a great time sharing here today with Pastor Christine Holder of Impact to Impart. I always get it twisted, but I got it right.
You did.
So, God bless you guys from my heart to yours, the power of a praying woman. Bye-bye.
Clothing and accessories provided by Afro Gypsy Nook, located at 28th North Allfields, Lowlands, Tobago.